It's about taking care of your needs on a daily basis and building daily habits to help you create a lifestyle where your needs are met as well as the needs of your family. And the good news, it's not as difficult as you might think to fit this into your day. Hey everyone, Kristen here from KristenWestcott.com, where I help working moms simplify their lives so they can manage their time better, get organized, and finally have some time for themselves. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to create a daily self-care routine that fits with your lifestyle. But before we dig in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell beside it so you get notified when I make new videos and go live. So those of you who have been following me this past month know that we've been talking about self-care and how to make it a habit. And if you haven't had a chance to check out those videos, be sure to check them out after today's video. I've put a link to them in the description below. If you've watched those videos, then by now you understand how important self-care is, but you may still be wondering how to fit it into your schedule. You know, it's something that you want to try, but you may feel guilty for choosing it over taking care of the house, taking care of your relationships, doing work, or any other number of things. But here's the thing. Self-care doesn't have to be about taking a day to go to the spa or buying really expensive face products, although that's a nice treat as well. It's about taking care of your needs on a daily basis and building daily habits to help you create a lifestyle where your needs are met as well as the needs of your family. And the good news is it's not as difficult as you might think to fit this into your day. There are different elements that contribute to your self-care. There's self-care for your body, self-care for your mind, and then emotions and spirit. And today I'm sharing my favorite ways to make self-care a part of my daily habits and keep it simple, because I'm all about keeping things simple. And that is to have a simple routine. I know, shocking. For those of you who followed me for a while now, you know that I'm all about systems and routines. So the fact that I have a self-care routine shouldn't be all that surprising for you. But I wanted to share with you why it's so important and how you can build your own self-care routine that works with your lifestyle. I've shared in past videos that I wasn't always good at self-care. But after my first daughter was born in 2014 and I suffered from postpartum depression, I had to get better at self-care in order to overcome that challenge. And since 2015, I've really tried to incorporate my self-care into my evening routine. This helps me feel that no matter what has happened throughout the day, I can still end it on a positive note and always make the time for it because I've built it in and structured that routine into my day. It's not an indulgence that I need to feel guilty about. It's a necessity to my well-being. And this is why I prioritize it in my day and really make it an essential part of my daily routine. And about a year ago, I finally put two and two together and realized that on the evenings that I didn't do my self-care routine, I was less productive the next day. The evenings that I did my self-care routine gave me more energy and the following day, and that made me more productive and able to manage all of the things that I needed to manage as a working mom. So let's dive into talking about how to create a daily self-care routine. There are a couple of simple steps that you can do really quickly to get you started on your own personalized self-care routine. So the first step is to visualize and write down what you want your ideal morning and evening to look like. Make a list of all the things you want to start doing in your day. List all the things that make you happy, maybe things that you used to do but no longer feel you have time for, all of those kinds of things that you want to incorporate. Make a nice big list and we'll start working with that. Step 2 is to examine what your current mornings and evenings look like. What parts aren't working well for you? What parts do you really want to change? Where do you feel pressed for time? Perhaps it's in the mornings, trying to get out the door on time. Or where could you possibly squeeze in a few more minutes for yourself in either your morning or your evening? And so the third step then is to just pick 3 of those activities that you want to start incorporating into your day. So while you may be tempted to try and tackle more than 3, it will become really overwhelming and you'll have trouble figuring out where you can kind of fit these in to an already tight schedule. So start with 3 things. And as you become more comfortable with your mini self-care routine, you can start adding other things to that list one by one. So pick just 3. So of course, the next piece then is to schedule them in. Plan out when you will do these activities. If you're a morning person, go ahead and try incorporating them into a morning routine for self-care. But I am not a morning person. And when I tried that, I failed miserably at making it a habit in my day. I'm much more successful at keeping it a part of my evening routine. But you have to do what works for you. What's your best time of day? Is it morning or is it evening? Try both and figure out what you're more likely to be consistent with. Then put that routine right into your calendar so that you block off the time. If it doesn't get written down, then it often doesn't get done. What you schedule in will actually get done. If you find yourself consistently missing an activity, then try scheduling them for different times of the day to see what works best for you in order to be able to maintain that consistency. Another tip is to try tacking it onto an activity that you already do every single day. For example, I started adding my affirmation practice on to brushing my teeth. I never seem to forget that part of my day, so I tacked this on to the end of my teeth brushing as a way to make sure that I was fitting it into my self-care daily for my soul. And so the 5th part of this is to then reflect and evaluate. So thinking about how is it going? After trying things out for a week or 2, check in with yourself to see how you're feeling. How consistent have you been? Is the time of day you've selected working out for you? Is there something that you'd like to add or something that maybe isn't as relaxing as you thought it would be? This part is really important if you want to be able to stick with it. And you might have to fine-tune things a little bit until you find the routine that is right for you. You may have maybe unknowingly started a particular routine because it's what you thought you should be doing. Maybe you read it somewhere, or maybe one of your friends seemed to be having really great success with it. But you need to reflect and evaluate whether it's the right routine for you. And if not, then make some tweaks until it is. A self-care routine will be unique to each individual because we all have different things that help us relax. Like I said earlier, I like to do my self-care activities in the evening because mornings are just not my best time. So currently, my evening routine, which I like to refer to as my power down hour, looks something like this. I spend about 30 minutes tidying up and organizing for the next day and 30 minutes relaxing and de-stressing. So I start by tidying up the kitchen and preparing whatever I can for lunches, if this hasn't already been done on my Sunday as part of my Sunday routine. I make sure my daughter's backpack is ready. We usually do this together, but since she's only 4, I like to double check that it's been done because it really kind of helps me sleep better when I know that it's been completed. And then I put all the items I need into my work bag. I put that by the door. I pick out what I'm going to wear for the next day, right down to all the accessories, and I lay all of that out in the bathroom. I put my shoes, my keys, my gloves, my sunglasses, all of those kinds of outdoor pieces right by the door. And then I head down and I do a quick check of the calendar to make sure that I'm not missing anything for the next day. And then I like to do a brain dump where I kind of put all of my thoughts and everything that's going on in my head onto one sheet of paper and then plan out what I need to do in the next day. So that's kind of like the first part of the first piece of my self-care routine. I might fold a bit of laundry while listening to a podcast. If everything else has gone smoothly and I've been able to accomplish that in a shorter time frame, then I'll do a little bit of laundry folding. And all of this takes about 30 minutes. And then I shift into relaxation mode. I take a shower, I apply lotion, I change into my pajamas, I turn on my salt lamp and my diffuser with a nighttime oil blend, and then I spend about 5 minutes stretching, 5 minutes journaling, 10 minutes reading, and then it's lights out, and I do a progressive relaxation technique or some mindfulness to switch my brain into sleep mode. So that's what works for me right now, but I am constantly tweaking and switching things up. You know, instead of reading, I might listen to a podcast. Instead of stretching, I might try some yoga in the summertime. You know, again, in the summertime, I might paint my toenails one night. But whatever I do, I make sure that I give myself 30 minutes to prepare for the next day, and then 30 minutes each night to wind down, clear that chatter in my brain, and prepare my body to sleep. And during my power down hour, my phone is switched to do not disturb mode, and I do not check it again until I'm about to leave the house the following morning, after the bulk of my morning routine is done. I give myself a full hour of screen-free time before I try to sleep so that my brain's melatonin production isn't affected by the blue light that's emitted from the technology screens. Okay, so now I've taught you 5 simple things to do to create your own self-care routine, but you have to figure out what's going to be most helpful to you in your life. So if you want to get my stress-free morning checklist, click the download link below, and it'll send you to a short guide where I list out several things that I do in the evening and in the morning in order to get out the door on time with minimal stress, even with 2 young kids. And I'd love to hear from you. What is your current self-care routine? Are you a morning person or an evening person? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to give me a like below if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos each week to help you manage your time more efficiently so you can have more time for you, even if you work full time. Make sure you share this video with your fellow mom friends so they can also benefit from creating a self-care routine. Well, that's it for today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.